Welcome to tonight's edition of Why Are You Not Touring Anymore? I'm joined by Ghost Llama. Hello to everybody out there watching. I've been told more than once I need to say hello because I don't. So hello, everyone. We had a fantastic night tonight.
Hello, Kev. We did have a great night tonight.
All right, all right.
I'm proud of you
All
for
right,
saying hi.
there you go. Am I being slow again? Are we gonna have to count a half a second?
Yeah, I think you might have to count a half a second, Kev. It'd be all right.
Or you're gonna have to count the half a second.
Okay.
All right. So we open up with Let the Good Times Roll. It's functional, it's serviceable, it's a good opener. It gets everybody loosened up. And I loved I love it. It's a great way to open up a show.
I think it's a I think it's a serviceable song. I guess a little nod to T there, right? Who's going to be back tomorrow night for the final? So I think he told people on Twitter, we can tell you watching that you won't have to put up with me tomorrow night. You guys will have T, who knows more about the Dead, and to finish up things, he'll be back. So no, I was thinking though that there's been a lot of comments about getting into shows and getting in and maybe arriving late, right? Especially if you're not used to this amount of a crowd and you don't go earlier, right? And you get stuck in security. And I think if this was one of the songs that, like, I heard him open with as I'm in line, I think I would be less stressed. I'd be like, okay, I don't have to see this one, right?
I can
So
appreciate that.
I can appreciate that, right? Especially knowing that next is Hell in a Bucket, which is a song that I think a lot of people love and that a lot of people would want to see.
Yep, yep. All right. Before I get into Hell in a Bucket, let me send a shout out to Nugs because I think the camera work the last two nights was really inspired. You could, watch Mayer's mastery on the guitar, the fluid technique that he has, and the drone shots. It was just really A+ stuff. But as for Bucket, I like the tighter, more up tempo jazz opening. If you remember a couple times earlier in tour, they did it and they did a really slow intro, which led to a slow beginning to the song. This one was a lot tighter, a lot of more up tempo, and I think they ripped into it a little better.
I was gonna say I did appreciate this version a lot better than the Deer Creek version. So um props, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's just different versions and it's your flavors. There's no one way that's better than the other, right? We just happen to like the faster tempo one. So
All right, well, but I think Bucket deserves that. Just it's bikers, it's chicks, it's just the language of it and the whole feel of it. I think is a little more rock and roll than laid back. Let's
true.
get groovy. So, all right, hurts me too. Elmore James, what do you think? Well, you haven't been on enough for me to ask you this. What do you think of Mayer as the blues guy?
I think, like it or not, he's kind of the millennial blues guitarist, right? Like with John Mayer Trio, and he's kind of got the market covered for guitarists of like that generation for blues. Granted, there are other great blues guitarists who are millennials as well. I'd say he's probably a Gen Xer, but his music was for millennials, right? That's kind of right around the turn of the centuries where Mayer kind of came into stuff. So I think for this it works though for in this band, but I think a lot of it is how he plays with Kiminti, and I think that helps them out a lot, and I think them finding that groove together helps bring the blues to the front a little more, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. T says it's like seeing a band in a bar. It's smoky, it's sexy, it's really good when they do that. My thing is, you have these other blues players out there. You have the Kenny Wayne Shepherd. You have the Joe Bossa Nova. You know, these other big names that are the blues guys that are kind of the same generation as John Mayer, but they aren't as willing to explore other things and have so many other parts to their music. They're strictly like Stevie Ray Vaughan was. I'm a blues guy. I play the blues. I'm not venturing into jazz. I'm not going over here into pop. Mayer's like, I'll check a little of this out. I'll take a little over here, a little over here, and he does it all excellent.
Right.
So there you go. You got no. You're like, all right, stop talking about Mayer.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna speak for like the 5 people in the audience. And like, Mayer's penis needs a break. Like, we can stop fluffing it. Yeah.
All right. So Jack Straw, smack dab in the middle of the set. Really perfect. Really, you know, there's so many tunes that we have to get to. I mean, when you think about it, there were 100 and some songs played over the tour. You aren't getting them. You might get 60 if you're lucky over the 3 nights. I haven't counted this, but probably more like 50, 55. So you're expecting the Jack Straw. And it was, you know, every version has been really good. They picked the speed back up. Bobby isn't doing the weird thing with the lyric like he used to.
Yeah, I don't know. The lyrics are a little bit dated for my generation.
Why? What happens to Jack Straw?
And it's not that it's necessarily the whole we can share the women thing, right? Is that
that thing, yeah. I tell you what, in the 70s,
in the 70s and 60s, it was probably a little
no.
right?
Women who went and saw the Grateful Dead in the 70s had issues with it. They were very feminist forward women. I mean, it's always been an issue, but it's a cowboy thing. And I guess for me, it's not as egregious as, say, a Mexicali Blues, which is just completely off limits. This is a guy sitting around a campfire. Hey, I'm going to tell the story of me killing my best friend. It sets the stage. It definitely sets the stage.
It does set the stage. It's a lyric. It's a little hard to, you know, at times, but it's still a good song, you know.
Right.
I just wish that lyric was different, you know.
Right. Yeah, money. Yes, that's definitely a tune that is off the table, but even Loose Lucy's it's about a prostitute. They wrote a bunch of songs about prostitutes back in the 70s.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Big Railroad Blues, which was a song that was written in 1918 by Noah Lewis for the Cannon Jug Stompers, and you would never know it. You would think it was something written by Robert Hunter. It's just, it flows so with the continuity of all their lyrics, and it's a train song. I think besides Love, there are more songs about trains than anything in the world.
Maybe I know it's up there.
Got to be up there.
Yeah, but I don't know. I liked it. It's always a good song. It's like it's just an old standard, though, you know. So it's just always kind of fun to hear, right?
That's interesting to me because I've always viewed it as something that was owned by the Grateful Dead. You have the distance from it that you're like, it's a standard. The Grateful Dead did it. Let's move on to Cassidy.
Well, yeah.
All right. Cassidy, this was my highlight. This may have been one of the top 5 Cassidys I've ever heard. Just such fantastic stuff there. There was this great tension in the solo in the song proper between Mayer and Weir, that they weave their way back into the Cassidy theme before Weir sang, and then they hit the first jam, and that first jam was that jam that they did out of it was just, it was inspired. It harkens back, like I've said before, Mayer harkens back to Garcia, but he also puts his own stamp on it. Like he appreciates, he synthesizes everything Garcia did with that song from 73 until when he died. I mean, that song was always in rotation. And if you listen to Garcia over that time, what he does with it changes. And I think Mayer encompasses all of that somehow and then puts it through himself because it doesn't exactly sound like Garcia.
No, yeah, you're not going to mistake this for Garcia at all. That's for sure. But it's still a great version. I mean, I actually took notes here, Kev, and one of them for
Nice.
Cassidy says great guitar work because that's the quality of my notes. I was like really enjoying the jam, and I was like, I got to take notes. Oh yeah, this is great guitar.
Oh, it was
But
fantastic. Just
no, yeah, it was an absolutely great version. Merritt is a good guitar player, absolutely ripping it. I think what helps a lot is, and you kind of spoke to it, is that Jerry never finalized it, right? The songs always grow. They're constantly changing. The music's constantly evolving. And I think that's part of the reason of what keeps it living on, right?
definitely, definitely. Yes, it was fluid. The whole
Yeah.
thing was fluid there. So, all right, we got They Love Each Other. We know that, hey, there's Travis. He's hanging out in the chat. What's up, Travis? Your favorite song? Travis had They Love Each Other at his wedding. Eighth time Travis and I have gone on and on about how it is great second set opener. Wherever they put it, it seems to work, and it's really just fantastic. Tonight's version, Clemente took the first solo. He has this New Orleans right hand thing working with it, and it just completely makes the song. And it was the 73 version, T, if you weren't there for it.
Oh, by this point, Fish would have been over. I'm pretty sure T would have saw it.
Yes, Fish would have already said we'll be back in 45 minutes.
But I think this one though paired great with a Love Light because you got to kind of put them together tonight, right? Because they kind of went into each other. And
Yeah.
I think it was a great way to end the set. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think
I love
I
it.
don't
It's
Love Light. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say Love Light's just a great song. It's a great cover of the guy.
fantastic. Yeah, Pigpen. Let's give a shout out to Pigpen. It was
Oh,
his
most
tune.
definitely.
And Bobby brought it back. He liked to cheese it up back in the 80s. It was always fun. I like it. I tell you what, I like it a lot more closing a first set than I ever did closing a second set. And we'll just kind of leave it at that. All right. Make sure you like, subscribe. We have a new thing. If you scroll up in the comments, a couple people took advantage of this. Do you know about this, Llama?
About the members, I do know about the
Yes.
members.
Yes. Well, you are
Yes,
a member. I see that you're a member and I'm not. So,
I am a member. Yes, you have to join on your browser on your computer though. For whatever reason, the memberships don't show up in the app. So if you're looking and you want to become a member, you got to do it the old-fashioned way, like on the desktop website.
all right. So there you go.
Yeah.
Click on it if you're on your PC. If not, when you go home, click on your PC, find out what it is. Give me a holler, let me know. We will be back tomorrow night. We're doing the double header again. It's an earlier show, so make sure to check us out earlier. The show is at 6 instead of 7 out there on the left coast. Next week coming, oh my god, it's next week, 4 days, 720. We have Matt Bush coming on. We're going to do a special tour recap. Since Fish plays Tuesday, Wednesday night, obviously we aren't going to try to go up against Fish. But on Thursday, make sure to mark your calendars, come over. We're doing Ask Matt. I'll give you 24 hours. But when I wake up Monday morning, I got to send a list over to him about questions to approve or not approve. Don't ask him if he likes green M&Ms because that's probably not going to make the cut. But just either put it in the comments. You can put it in the live chat. You can find me Radiator9987 or Ghost Llama over on Twitter. And if you hashtag Ask Matt, we'll dig it up. And with that,
Don't
where
forget to
was
like and subscribe.
Oh, right. Like and subscribe. And check out the Fish After shows once this is over. Because tomorrow night I'll be crying in my beer the whole night because it's over. So, all right, let's jump in. Deal. The over under on Deal was 8.5. They did not play it at the Gorge. So if you bet the under, you got it. John Mayer simply owns this tune. Great set opener. I mean, there's not many great things I can say about what Mayer does with some of this stuff that we hadn't already said.
I'd like to go ahead and talk about another member of the band. There are other people playing. I got to say, O'Teal was doing a good job all night tonight, holding it down. I think he came out strong in this deal. I think Jeff Lane was doing a good job, or Jay Lane, sorry, was doing a good job with the drums in the back, carrying the beat. I think the supporting cast around Bobby and Mayer are great as well. And I think that the uniqueness of this whole set, if I can talk about the whole set, because I really appreciated the second set more than the first set, right? Just me personally,
Right. Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, heavy hitter to heavy hitter. I mean, nothing that there is. It's all killer, no filler. It is like, that's what you want every day of the week.
Yeah, this was, I mean, they come out jumping with Deal, and then they go into playing, and I mean, it's
fantastic
just
playing.
Fantastic, yeah.
Okay,
And
where are you on this?
I got a question. Can you explain the 8-9 under playing?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. All right, they have played the complete playing in the band 8 times, right?
Okay.
But it's been over 9 different shows.
Okay.
So have they played it 8 times or 9 times?
It depends on what you consider a time. I mean, what do you consider a complete playing, I guess?
Half the song. Like other one verse, you go back and you sing the rest of the next night. Because you see the other one has the same thing.
Yep.
All right. You think about that.
I'll think about it, and I think that they finish it tomorrow night, right?
No, they finished it.
Like they play verse 2 of the other one tomorrow night, maybe.
They played it tonight.
They played it tonight. Yeah, you're right. They did.
Played the whole thing. All right, so the play-in, it was short. It was maybe 12 minutes or so. Mayer tried to push it out into a little bit of space, but Bobby held true to what he wanted, because I think Bobby wanted the other one. I mean, the plan was good. It was interesting that they didn't go into space, and it steered into this more jam thing, and it had Mayer and Weir going against each other, playing rhythm, and it seemed like that Mickey and Jay were playing against each other. It seemed like there was a really tense argument going on with it before it finally gave way to O'Teal saying, we're going into the other one.
And that's kind of reminiscent about how set 2 went last night with Fire on the Mountain, right? And O'Teal just kind of leading the way, saying, all right, fine, we're going to do this, right? Being like the deciding factor. So that's definitely interesting. And it's, I'm not sure what to make of it, but I think I like the other one. So I'm with O'Teal on this one. Let's go. Yeah.
I felt like Weir was nimble as ever on this other one, and he really took the reins from O'Teal once they got into it, and they really took it for a final ride. This first part was a really, really good other one, verse 1. When we get to this second part of it, that was the real. But Terrapin, did you cry? I cried. I'm very sad, and it makes me sad because out of everyone I've heard murder singing Terrapin, Mayer does it the least. He almost gets it right.
So who does get it right?
Jerry.
All right.
It's the one song I would not have anybody play, but I understand, I think Weir likes the inspiration line.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't Terrapin like the best version of Terrapin in the debut?
One of them, it has the Alhambra sequence.
Right, but Terrapin, isn't that notoriously like, oh, they practiced it, it was great on the debut, and there's always been a little bit of
I
sense.
tell you what, Phil's 50th. It was
Yeah,
at the Cap Center, and the Terrapin that night, it was long and dark, and they went on and on with that end. I mean, if you want a slow build, you can have a
right.
Piper. I want a Terrapin that just goes
Yeah,
on, and it builds and builds and builds, and it's so compact in its build, and then it almost just lets go, and you end
yeah.
up in drums. And what I learned tonight from Mickey Hart was that the sound that he plays on the beam to start drums is called the Pythagorean monochord, and it's something that you can Google. And apparently he's played this every night of tour, and I wish I knew it at the beginning of tour because it just sounds cool. It's a sound. It's just
It,
some sound that has to do with
yeah,
triangles, I guess.
sure. It's
Isn't that who Pythagorean was? The theorem a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
it's all Greek to me, Kev.
Yeah, I think he was Roman, but maybe he was Greek. All right. Drums. I really I got this whole thing. I get this feeling maybe it was watching the interview with Mickey at set break, but he really I think is savoring every second of it. He'd like look over to Otio, he'd look over at Jay, and he had a smile, and he was like, "This is just right." And I feel like I can feel it. I know you're not the hugest fan of the whole drums thing, so I'll just run through it. And then Mickey seemed to linger for a few moments at the beam, almost like he was just breathing in, like I got one more after this. This is my last thing. We went into space. Where are you on space compared to drums, or is it the whole thing? You're like, yeah,
I like space because it's like the return to music is coming, right? I mean, well, in this is still music, right? It's still music. But if you're not a rhythm person, if you're somebody who can't clap on beat, right? Drums, beam, space is not really. I mean,
all
it's
right.
not for you. It's for people who can,
Clap during
have.
stash.
Yeah, exactly. If I can't clap during a stash, I can't really enjoy
Right.
drums. That's yeah.
Right. And then out of space, we got some blues for Allah teases from Jeff. I think John kind of got onto it a little,
A
but
little.
it never gelled completely. But if you go back and listen to it, it'll jump out at you. Then we get I called this playing teases. Now I know you're gonna be like, yeah, I haven't listened to that many Grateful Dead shows from 1980s. In the 80s and 90s, they always did playing Uncle John's playing. It was a very set thing. And there was a piece of music that developed in between playing in Uncle John's that they started playing anytime it was playing Uncle John's.
Right.
It showed up tonight. I don't know if it's part of Uncle John's or if it's part of playing, or if it shouldn't be labeled either way because the songs just belong to each other at that moment.
Is that section of music? Can we just call it the carrot and the segue? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would leave it out if I was going back and redoing this set list, but
I mean,
Uncle John's.
I think it's good to note the teases in here because I think they did a good job recalling the beginning of the set, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know,
Right. Where are you? Now the Uncle John's had a very 73 kind of flavor to me. Were you feeling that? I know you've explored 73, 74 a bit.
I was definitely enjoying this version of Uncle John's band. It was definitely grooving for sure. I like it, and then I mean, kind of goes back into playing, and then it kind of goes into the other one, and it starts doing verse two. Like everything's blending together, everything's grooving and jamming, and
Right.
you're like, I mean, it's
There was
great.
one part after they did the vocal, whoa ho, what I want to know. How does the song go? Mayor started playing one hand, the lick
Uh,
for Uncle John's, and I was like, yeah, you're being a badass up there. It's the John Mayer show. Um, Anyway, and then we go back into playing. I bet if we pulled up Matt Bush's set list from Bob Weir or Dead and Company, whoever puts it, it would say playing reprise. And when
Oh,
Matt
okay.
comes on the show, we're going to, that's my question to him. What is the deal with split songs and reprises? You
I
don't have to
guess.
answer.
Okay, all right, that's fine. It's not for me. That's an Ask Matt question. So I guess this is a good time to remind people to put in your Ask Matt question for this Thursday.
Hashtag. Can we get to 100
Hashtag,
people
yeah.
watching? We're at 97. Hi, everyone. All right. So this other one, I thought that this was one of the most the best things I've heard them do all tour was the transition from playing until they got into the other one. Weir got Angular, and he just took Mayer along for this ride as he remounted to do the other one. And it was a really unique other one in a sea of them. I mean, what that was the seventh one, even if we call it the seventh one this tour, probably 5 or 6 of them every tour. Weir does it all the time with Wolf Brothers. This one was really unique, and they rode it like a wave. And it turned into all of them holding on to OTL for dear life. I mean, there were 2 distinct jams before they even got to the theme that they built up for Weir to sing. 100.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely like the other one's one of those every time I hear it, it's always my favorite version at that moment, right? I mean, that's just that kind of song for me. And
Right.
honestly, it might be one of Bobby's favorite songs to play that he's written
Mm,
himself, right? I mean,
yeah.
him and Bill wrote this song, right?
Right. Yep. Kreutzmann was the credit with him. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Because
It's
it's a very
fantastic.
rhythm based driving song,
Yep.
and I fucking love it. And then,
Every night when I would walk into the fucking wherever they were playing, I wanted another one.
yeah.
There was the one song that I was like, it's going to deliver. Even if it didn't deliver, it was still the other one. And you got to be like, the bus come by. You know, it's just, it's
It was like at Wrigley, they played verse one the night I missed, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I missed the other one. That's my favorite song." And then they played verse two the second
to
night, and
the
I was like,
next night. Right.
"Oh, bless."
So you got to
You
get on the
know,
bus.
yeah, I got to
It
get
was
on the bus,
fantastic.
and I got a morning dew on or set closer as well.
You know, and that was majestic transition for
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah,
Really
that's
fantastic.
classic. And
Right.
fucking morning dew is probably the best cover that the Grateful Dead do.
It is. Let me throw something at you. I feel like Mayer gets as much from Jeff Beck as he does from Garcia for the solo that he does on this. Have you ever heard Jeff Beck's version of Morning Dew?
I've never heard Jeff Beck's morning version do. I have heard Jeff Beck's instrumental album, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head now.
Yeah, I can't
So
either.
my knowledge of Beck is very limited.
Right. It really has this Jeff Beck, this English, almost more prog than blues flavor to what he does. And I mean, he totally honors what Garcia does in the song because it's another one of those, along with Terrapin, that is indelibly etched in my mind as being Garcia. Just the plaintive wail of him, you know, up
Right.
there, and then you know, I guess it doesn't matter anyway, and everyone's just like, yeah.
I I'll have to go back and listen to see if I hear the Jeff Beck kind of influence in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I wasn't listening for it, but I'll definitely listen to it. And then I got a question. Did they leave the stage for Encore tonight?
They did. That's why they do not get an FE. They were gone for over a minute. It was a minute and 12 seconds.
Okay.
Right. And I thought
Nice.
for sure we were getting the double.
Oh yeah.
What night is it? It's Saturday night. They didn't do
Yeah.
a Saturday night on the last Saturday night, and I guess there isn't one more Saturday night for them to do it.
Yeah, and maybe that's what they're gonna want Sunday is one more Saturday night, right?
No, God help us, no. It's broke down tomorrow.
It's broke
I'm
down.
just gonna
Okay.
skip over Ripple. I know people love Ripple. My only comment on it would be Jerry didn't do it for a reason. whatever his reason was, just like Fish did not play Destiny Unbound all those years for a reason. And it's probably that the songs best stay wherever they were because of whatever that reason was.
All right. You're being cryptic and vague, but all right.
I don't know why he never did it. He did it
Right.
once electric. They did it acoustic in the 80s, in 1980. He did it with Garcia Grisman, but he just didn't feel like it worked as a song in that setting that the Grateful Dead were.
Yeah.
Whereas Broke Down does, which is its sister song, you know?
Yeah.
So what's your call tomorrow? Anything? I know that Dark Star's on the table. We've got Estimated Eyes, Help Slip Franklin's.
Yeah. You still got Samson and Delilah out there, right?
Oh, definitely Sunday. Good call. Gotta do a Samson.
Hmm.
All right.
It's hard to think. Yeah, there's still a lot on the table. It's hard to.
We're definitely getting a Bertha. Definitely getting a Bertha and an Althea. All right, run that music. We're trying something different. Me and Lom are splitting duties. And tomorrow, like, subscribe, find us tomorrow. Then start checking out the Fish shows if you don't like it. We'll be doing other things. Matt Bush, 720. Hopefully Taper's Choice one of the weeks after that.